Hello all. I hope that everybody is taking care of their health and not only the physical health but mental health also these days, and taking care of their personal hygiene, adhering to the guidelines of the government and taking care of themselves and their family. I'm Surbi. Today, as a counselor, I could not resist myself and wanted to speak something. I wanted to just share my views on the current news that is just floating around over there in social media and other way around also, about a group on the social media that the adolescents have made just for fun, the locker room controversy. As a counselor, as a layman, when I read this news, like all of you, I also feel very disturbed. Thinking that the young generation, students of schoolers of class 11 and 12, just the age of 15 or 16, engaging themselves in such activities or in such to say psychologically we say that it is pleasure seeking activities, that they do not even understand what is right, what is wrong, what is appropriate, what is not, and how it can affect how it can hurt so many other people. Also, it can affect their own careers, their own lives also. If I think deeply, or if we all think very deeply, very basically actually, that where is it coming from? We have heard, we have seen, we have read that students are talking about their female classmates in a very very inappropriate manner, that they are putting their objectionable pictures over the social media, talking about abusing them physically. So such kind of a thinking within such adolescents, where is it coming from? Whom should we blame? And is it necessary to blame anyone here? Because we need to understand that where this has come from. First of all, these children who psychologically are, according to psychology and psychosexual stages, are in their early stage to understand all these things. And according to psychology, these are the I would say the kids, the children are in the stage wherein they have already understood the gender differences basically between males and female, but they have not understood the respect part of it. It has a lot of misogyny there when they talk about girls like that. And when I think that where is it coming from, I have a certain points that I was just thinking and I've noted down. Basically, in the society, whenever we can access to anything in a very very easy manner, be it the social media or any information that we get very easily, sometimes even the adults forget that how to handle it and how not to get over occupied with it. So these children of 15 or 16 years of age, I wonder, without any knowledge, they can just do these things only, not able to handle the content which they are easily able to access. When they, even you can see in a lot of our media, the kind of advertisements or the kind of web series and the kind of films that people are producing and are providing very very easy access to it, the children are watching everything. And the parents who might be thinking that it is really very funny or it is really very serious thing to talk about sex with their children, they must understand that even if they will not talk about such things openly with their children, they better know about it very well. Most of them know it, know all of the things. So it is better that it should come from a parent only, that a parent should educate the child. We cannot put the complete responsibility on the educators itself. Yes, of course, the schools are playing their parts, of course, but then the primary education or the primary training that we can say has to come from the parents itself. So I would just start with the parenting here. The first thing that I would like to mention here, I have no idea that how people are going to take it, but still this is how it is actually psychologically, that parenting has a very very important role to play. There are people who would say that we cannot put everything on parenting, but I would definitely say that it starts from there, and positive parenting cannot be neglected, and nothing happens overnight. So when your child is alone in a room and is playing games, have you actually seen that he's playing the games only? And have you actually kind of supervised his or her mobile? Have you kept a check that his phone, why it is locked? Who all are his friends? Who all are his friends whom he knows, whom he does not know? Is your computer in drawing room? Is your screen a computer screen that is visible to everybody? How much time a child screen sharing or screen time, how much screen time does a child have in a particular day? So how much one parent is able to supervise? This is all coming very spontaneous from my side. If I talk about the kind of parenting that is happening, I will not generalize, of course, but there are parents who even share the same room with their children. So and people will not say no to this thing, will not deny this fact that many of my workshops that I've conducted for the parents, from the young parents, I have come to know that they share the same room with the child. Many of times we think that probably what the child will understand. We keep on talking in a way, we keep on engaging ourselves in a kind of activity that we feel that what the child will understand. But remember, the child is always watching, the child is always listening to whatever you are saying. He will interpret it in his own manner, he will understand it in his own manner. Now the second thing that is coming in my mind, that where it is coming from. One, that parenting and supervision that I have discussed. Second thing, I feel that it is coming from, can be one of the possible causes, can be factors, can be that disturbed interpersonal relationships at home. Probably the child himself or herself got abused or bullied somewhere in the childhood, or at home only, where he is not able to share this experience with anybody, and this is a kind of an outrage which is happening, a kind of repressed feeling that has accumulated in a way, and the child has understood the way of living in this manner only, that this is a way that we can seek pleasure by bullying somebody. It can be a cyberbullying, it can be any kind of bullying. Another thing that comes into my mind as I was discussing the point of respect and consent, I feel that a lot of times we forget to mention or make our children understand that women should not be objectified. It is not they're not the objects to where we just seek the pleasure, and it is for a need, therefore some need. So kind of statements even when it comes in movies, or kind of when they see Houseful 2009, which came in 2019, or when they watch some kind of web series which have kind of sexual discrimination, also the hostility towards women, or kind of jokes that are being cracked against women. So a lot of misogyny is there. This gets built up in child's mind during the early stages of childhood. Very, very psychological fact this is, because at this particular time the child is building up his world, his understanding, his comprehending everything. So whatever we are giving in terms of media access or the content or the parenting kind of, it can be just the imitation also, the kind of observation learning that the child does. He sees others doing that, he sees the father raising voice on mother, he sees there is a discrimination in probably in the movies it is being shown that work discrimination is there, a few things, few tasks the females cannot do properly, or women are very bad drivers. There are kind of stereotypical thoughts, or you can say mindsets, which children in early age catches, and they feel that it is like that only, this is the way. In adulthood, when it comes and you go for therapies to correct that thing, it becomes really very difficult to manage things, because that thing has been developed and established for so long, so many years, for so long. So then it becomes quite difficult to work upon such intrapsychic conflicts, you can say, or the distorted beliefs, you can say. So it is very, very important that women should not be considered as the objects, and respect and consent should be taught to the children. Sex education also, it doesn't only happen in the school, but it also should start at home. You should not hesitate talking to your child, because the child is in any ways getting the information from some unreliable resources. So it will always be I think it is always better that a child gets the information from their own parents, so that they can guide them better, and there is no need to lie to them about various things when a child has seen probably a condom and a deo or something which is specific to a gender or say sanitizer pad. So why it is to be in a hushed whispers that you talk about the sex or anything else? It should be an open talk with a proper logic and biological and psychological definitions, that a child should be made understood that sex is not something taboo, or you can say it is not something to be not talked about. But yes, the appropriateness of the place, the appropriateness of the conditions where we are, what should be talked. See, I remember in my childhood when we got our first computer. So my father clearly told us that, see, I have given you this computer and it has all the things of the world. It always will be in the drawing room. Though we were really very innocent, me and my siblings, but then my father really told us that this computer is always going to be in the drawing room, and it will never be password protected. Your mother and I can always come and log into your emails, your the accounts that you will be creating, and we always used to share our email, the passwords whichever we had for our accounts. So any parent can assure the child the usability, the feasibility, and everything, that how they should use appropriate technology, because we will not be able to stop any kind of exposure to the children. How many times you will stop children watching a movie, or how will you supervise? But then if you equip them with the right knowledge, that yes, this is the way that you need to go about it, and this is the way you need to understand it. Not everything that goes in the virtual world is for real, and not everything that you see is in practical terms it is like that only. So you need to equip your children with accurate, appropriate knowledge. You can always take the professional help for that also. The teachers or the counselors definitely do help in that, but as a parent, I think it is a primary responsibility of a parent to openly talk about it. It will be difficult initially, but communication on a regular basis. So this is very effective. This time of lockdown, I think, is very appropriate time to spend quality time with your children, not only just telling them to do that or to do not to do something, or maybe attending their classes or focus in their studies also. This is also a parent's responsibility, primary responsibility, to talk about such things which you need to educate the child. How many of parents have actually talked about the private parts of the body of children? It psychologically, a lot of researchers do say that when a child turns 4 years of age, we should tell him all about the safe touch and unsafe touch, and the private parts of the body, when the child, because the child is exposed after 4 years to the society. So we should make him understand how to safeguard himself or herself. Now that coming on to the puberty time and the adolescence, again a different kind of education has to be given, a different kind of communication has to be adopted by the parent for the child, to make them understand that there will be a lot of exposure in terms of media, in terms of internet content, in terms of everything. Even the friends, they will talk about sexting and what not, everything they are having the access to. So first of all, to maintain the equality, that starts from home, between the genders, of course. Mother and father should respect each other in front of the child, should not talk to each other in an insulting manner or abusive language. They should take care that they are not using any kind of abusive language. Also, the women should be given the importance. Giving them respect is of utmost importance. Respect and consent should be taught to boys, especially by both the parents. I think fathers can play a definite role in this, and they can openly talk about. There is no harm in talking about the body parts and during the adolescence age, because if you are friendly, openly, you are communicating with your child, the child might be saved from a lot of inappropriate activities. And even when there is a kind of any peer pressure that is there on the child will know it, that my parents have already talked to me like it, and I know what is right, what is not. Critical thinking the child will use a lot of decision making over there, and appropriate training about the communication should be there. How to be assertive, how to say no to a few things should also be taught to the child. It's not always that a child should be under peer pressure. So just start with it. I would like to give these few tips that be very open while you talk to your child at a particular point of time when they attain an age of, say, adolescence. When they're in adolescent period of time, you have to talk openly to your children. Give them and make them understand the importance of giving respect to women. It starts from home, from mother, grandmother, sister, and everybody around. They should pay them right respect that they deserve. Also, the equality has to be, it all starts from home only. So I'm sure that the Indian tradition and the cultures, the values that we always talk about, it plays a very important role. We need to again focus upon all those our cultures, old cultures, and our values which we have received from our parents. The same has to be inherited by this young generation, by their parents. So just start talking to your children, and I hope that we should not encounter such very where we get very disappointed. Such cases comes where adolescents, where they should focus rather on their studies and their making their thinking about their career and all. They are involved, their mindsets, their thinking is involved in all these things, wherein they do not have respect for women, or say girl, from their mind only, from their thinking only. They do not respect how these children will be, what kind of adults these children will become. So it's a question we all need to think about it. As a parent, as a society, we should take care of what we are speaking, what we are talking, what kind of values that we are giving to our children, what kind of content that our children are exposed to, and how we need to supervise it. I hope that we do not encounter more such issues, and let's all give respect to women, and also educate our children about it, the equality. Thank you so much for today.